Yeah, I've never seen like, but Diddy has hit on me at Steve Rifkin house.
What was
And
your...
everybody at the house was gay, but I didn't know it.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you scrambling and scraping. When you scrambling and scraping for shit.
No. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over with that one.
Rumors about Diddy's preferences, gay, bi, you name it, have been the talk of the industry for years. Right now, accusations about the rapper pour in from men and women alike. It's starting to seem like Diddy just loved getting it on and didn't care how he got it or who he got it from. Since the start of Diddy's legal drama, old videos and clips of male celebrities hanging out with Diddy have gone viral. Front and center in everyone's minds is the question: which man in his vast network of A-listers has Diddy slept with? Because not everybody told him no. Want to hear the tea? Keep watching. So who's at the top of the list? None other than Clive Davis himself, the music mogul who was Diddy's mentor. Davis is openly bisexual and has publicly talked about having relationships in the industry, though always choosing to withhold his lovers' names. Word on the street is that Davis wasn't just a mentor to Diddy. Their relationship was allegedly a bit more intimate and apparently nasty. Suge Knight Jr., co-founder and former CEO of Death Row Records, dropped some bombs in an episode of his podcast, Collect Call with Suge Knight. Suge claimed he got the inside scoop from Jimmy Iovine, straight from the halls of Interscope's Westwood office. According to Suge, Jimmy let it slip that Clive Davis and Diddy weren't just tight, they were lovers.
So I tell the homies, give me a minute. Jimmy said, man, I'm here because Clive Davis called me and him and Puffy is real tight and, lovers. So I thought he was talking like they got love for each other. It's all right. He said, yeah, they are lovers.
I know what you're thinking. If Diddy and Davis were lovers, what's sinister about that? People can do whatever they want, right? That's where Jaguar Wright's take on things comes in. But before we get into that, let's do a quick recap of Diddy's relationship with Davis. So they started working together in the 90s after the rapper was let go from Uptown Records. Davis saw potential in Diddy and helped fund his label, Bad Boy Records, but that reportedly came at a cost.
He go to LA, he talk to Clive, he come back with the bread. Apparently, he has this man's confidence. Yeah, I'm sure that man was very confident with his penis in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Clive is a whole freak.
According to Jaguar, Diddy paid for his fame and wealth by becoming Davis's boy toy. She's pretty loud about labeling the rapper a predator, but when it comes to Davis, Jaguar says Diddy was a victim who took lessons. A lot of Diddy's alleged victims, male and female alike, claim the rapper invited them to his place promising to help them get a leg up in the music industry, only to take advantage of them in the most horrible way and then discard them. Going by Jaguar's claims, it seems Diddy borrowed the first part of this pattern from his mentor Clive Davis, who also loved to control people. Apparently, he taught Diddy and possibly R. Kelly everything they know when it comes to victimizing people. Speaking of mentor-mentee arrangements, next on the list of Hollywood men Diddy may have been in the sheets with, we've got Usher. Here's everything we know about Diddy's relationship with the R&B singer. How did Usher and Diddy cross paths? It all started back in the 90s when Usher, a fresh-faced kid of just 13, was signed by L.A. Reid to Layface and Arista Records. Then Usher was sent to live with Diddy in New York for a whole year under the program Puffy Flavor Camp. With everything coming out about what might have gone down under Diddy's roof, his house was definitely no place for a kid. And while Usher hasn't exactly come out about everything he saw and experienced based on what he has said and other reports, we might have a clue. For starters, Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Dill said the rapper had to send a young Usher to the hospital because he was bleeding from the butt. A 13-year-old bleeding from the butt raises a lot of questions, but there was no report of this.
You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt.
Some believe Diddy answered with a stack of cash, as the hospital allegedly didn't record the incident, while others think that he could have come up with a number of fake reasons as to why Usher was bleeding. Jaguar Wright also referred to the incident in an interview. When asked about Usher, she responded that he got his butt ripped, yet was loyal to Diddy anyway. Has Usher said anything about this? Not at all. Like a lot of the celebs who rode with Diddy in his glory days, Usher's been quiet over the past year. But in a 2004 interview, he opened up about what went down in Diddy's pad. Spoiler alert, it wasn't all about music lessons. Instead, Diddy introduced him to a totally different kind of lifestyle. According to Usher, you could open any door and find people doing the nasty. Fast forward to 2016, and he spilled a little more tea during an interview with Howard Stern, describing the experience as pretty wild and crazy.
What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
Curious is one way to put it, but even more curious is why he would send a very young Justin Bieber to Diddy's House of Horrors, knowing full well what went on in there. When asked if he would ever send his kid, this was Usher's response.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Jaguar Wright also put Usher on blast. Usher was the one who first introduced Justin to Diddy, and many people have speculated that it eventually led to years of Bieber being abused by Diddy. Yep, Usher was like Justin's big brother, showing him the ropes of the music industry. He wouldn't subject his daughters to Diddy's flavor camp, but he took Bieber to Diddy when he was just a teenager. It seems a lot like double standards.
I'm mad that people aren't more mad at Usher.
For what?
Because somewhere along the way, he went from a victim to a procurer to a head turner.
Let's talk about that eyebrow-raising 48 hours with Diddy video. Picture it, young Justin Bieber, barely out of middle school, spending an entire weekend with Diddy, who's at the height of his fame, and shall we say, well into adulthood. It was sold to the public as an exciting mentorship experience, with Diddy showing the ropes to his new teen buddy. But something about the whole vibe felt off. I mean, did anyone ask why a grown man with an empire was so invested in a teenager's free time?
I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album.
Diddy also said they were about to go buck full crazy.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go buck full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, the innocence in his eyes. Fast forward to now, and this video feels a lot less like mentorship and more like an introduction to something Bieber probably had no business learning about at that age. Based on everything we know about Justin, he seemed to come out of his relationship with Diddy a lot worse than Usher did. Remember Justin's wild phase back in 2014? The world watched as he spiraled, and everyone was quick to judge. But think about it. Justin was a teenager tossed into a world full of cash, crazy fame, and powerful people who may have exposed him to things no kid should have to deal with. Justin himself has been relatively open about his struggles. He's talked about those dark days and how he turned to things like to cope with the shame he felt from his behavior. He also talked about wanting to protect Billie Eilish from all of it. In an interview, Justin got so emotional and even broke down while speaking.
I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
With the recent allegations and rumors resurfacing about Diddy, you can't help but wonder, was Justin talking about protecting Billie from people like Diddy? Another video shows Justin at a party where Diddy hands him a bottle to drink from him on his birthday.
Happy birthday, Justin! Happy birthday!
Not to mention, in a 2014 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe Kardashian casually mentions being at a party where half the guests were butt naked, including, you guessed it, Diddy and Justin. It's not just these old clips that have people talking. There's also a video from years later where Diddy seems a bit salty about Justin acting different and not calling him to hang out anymore. He even says, "You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out."
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Justin looks extremely uncomfortable in this clip. And with everything going on, I think if Justin was trying to keep his distance back then, there was probably a valid reason for that. Justin and all the other people we've covered have chosen not to speak about Diddy. Clive Davis won't acknowledge their past relationship at all. He was even caught on camera pretending not to know Diddy.
A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy.
Status of what?
P. Diddy. Diddy.
Puffy. The status of Puffy. Yeah.
This next person, however, was more than willing to tell all. Diddy's former producer, Lil Rod, filed a whopping 70-page lawsuit against Diddy. Lil Rod says Diddy pressured him into having sex in exchange for Grammy nominations and awards. The producer claims he was given drinks spiked with a certain white powder substance and other hard substances to make him more compliant. Lil Rod also claims that Diddy even used his love for Stevie J to push him into encounters. He says Diddy showed him a video of Stevie J getting intimate and tried to convince him that this kind of behavior was normal in the industry. According to some people, a lot of big names in the industry don't even think of themselves as gay. They're just out having a good time. Of course, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but rappers usually criticize homosexuality even in their music, so it's pretty delusional to participate but see the act as something else. They might be all over women in public, but then apparently they'll turn around and hang out with their bros in a whole different way behind closed doors. The game says they just see it as part of the fun. Living in this world where lines get blurry.
So you think that you've worked with a gay rapper?
Yeah, man. And gay, not being just full out gay, but hiding it, trying to pretend like he, loves girls and live the rap lifestyle, but really, he's a man fan.
For Lil Rod, the lines were extra blurry as all sorts of weirdness and downright nastiness allegedly went down. The producer says he was forced to watch Diddy shower through a glass door. He lived with Diddy for over a year to produce his album, and that was when all this took place. He says he initially complained about Diddy's advances to the rapper's chief of staff, who brushed it off saying, Sean will be Sean. Really? That's the response? According to the producer, Diddy has done this to other artists. He described the rapper as a gatekeeper in the music business, and if you want to be successful, you have to have worked with him. Lil Rod also said that Diddy revealed that he had encounters with a rapper who sounds a lot like Meek Mill. The rapper was described as Philadelphia bred and a former boyfriend to rapper Nicki Minaj. Who fits that description, I wonder? There's even a clip of Diddy calling Meek daddy.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work.
Meek looks so uncomfortable in the video, and remember that this is the second video where Diddy calls a male person daddy. Meek's albums have received Grammy nods, but he hasn't snagged a win yet. So did it not work, or did Diddy use him and then leave him high and dry? With the rumors piling on over the past few months, Meek seems to have gotten restless. He recently offered a $100,000 reward to an investigative team to clear his name from the Diddy scandal. Does this mean he's got nothing to hide? Still on the topic of male celebs Diddy may have gotten frisky with, there's YK Osiris. At first, YK was hanging out a lot with Diddy. Then he was spotted on a vacation to Jamaica that was reportedly paid for by Diddy. People couldn't help but wonder what that trip was really about, and if Diddy was like his sugar daddy. YK was posting some pretty strange pics on his Instagram. He shared a photo on his story where Diddy was shirtless and posing in a pool with prayer hands emojis like he was grateful for something. He also posted this pic of himself lying down naked while getting a massage, which by itself was cringe enough, but it gets worse. YK captioned the post, listening to Diddy eating that good fruit and the beautiful weather. He also shared a picture of himself leaning in it and eat a bunch of fruit somewhat suggestively. People think Diddy took the pic and they had a lot to say. One commenter said the moment they saw the post without a woman or any of YK's family, they knew it was a man who sponsored the trip, and YK was acting like a female who's on a paid trip and taking photos and videos to savor the moments. Here's where it gets even juicier. YK's baby mama came out on social media with claims that she caught him in bed with another man. Not to mention YK had been acting all kinds of strange in interviews too. It's like he's trying to hide something. Some fans even speculated that YK had been having financial struggles and might have been pulled into Diddy's world of wealth and influence when he was vulnerable.
I want to get in the music game. I don't want to be in this music game. I promise God I don't want to be in this, but I do it because I want to feed my family, and I'm going to get out of it.
YK also talked about wanting to get out of the industry in the past. It also seems like he's warning people not to get into the industry. What do you think about the speculations? Was YK Osiris really Diddy's boy toy? In the end, it all comes down to Diddy's love for all things freaky. For more details on what went on in Diddy's homes, who was there, and what they did at all those parties, we'll all just have to wait and see. Diddy's lawyers have said the rapper plans to bear it all during his 2025 trial. What names do you think we'll be hearing? And do you think Diddy will get out of this mess with his public image unharmed? Let us know in the comments.